Hand's fine to do it with all your might. Do the best you can. Today we're putting anti-vibe bushings and an intake boot in an all-original Stihl 028 AV wood boss. First step we're going to do is to blow out everything on the saw. The choke mechanism is built into the air cleaner, so what I will do, I will plug the carburetor with my thumb while I blow this unit out with compressed air. That's step one. And then we will remove the recoil cover. So bear with me, we'll blow everything out and get back with you. Alright, we've blown everything out with compressed air. The air box is very clean. There are two 8mm nuts that hold the carb on. We'll remove those. And we'll also remove 1, 2, 3 screws and remove the recoil housing. And again, we'll blow all this out. Alright, I'm going to show you why we're going to blow that out of the recoil housing. As you see here, there is a buildup of sawdust and probably barn chain oil in here, and that inhibits the cooling of this saw. It's like that is the radiator. It's an air-cooled engine. The fins blow air through the fins of the cylinder and cool the saw, and that air comes through over here on this side and cools everything. So we're going to blow all that out. The owner asked me to look everything over and replace anything needed to be done while I was in there. So that's the next thing we're going to do, is blow all that out. Alright, we've blown out the flywheel, ignition coil, cylinder area. You can actually see the paint in there now. So the saw is definitely going to run cooler. All that stuff packed in there insulates and restricts the airflow. So we've done that. Now the next thing we're going to do is remove this screw here and the plastic plug. That one. And this one. Of course we'll have to remove this. It's the inner guide bar plate. We'll remove that and that plastic plug. May have to remove the dog and then this one. Now the purpose of these plastic plugs is to keep sawdust and oil out of the AV bushings. So, and it also expands the bushing and helps it to hold things in place. So we're going to take all that out now. Alright, we've removed all the plastic plugs and placed the fasteners in them. We removed the guide bar plate, inner guide bar plate, and placed that fastener back in the hole where it belongs. Now, what we'll do next is remove the screws that hold the tank to the power head itself within the rubber bushings that we're going to replace. We'll also remove the fasteners that hold this one up here at the top. There's a total of 2. We'll also remove the cylinder cover and the screw within this bushing as well. And while we're at it, we're going to remove the carburetor screws and this screw here to remove the throttle linkage. The linkage between the carburetor and the trigger. Pretty simple to do. That's the next steps. Alright, we've removed everything up to this point we've talked about. The next thing to do is to remove this small ring right here and then there's a larger ring on the outside, and then we'll push the pulse line through the tank, and everything, the tank itself, will slide out. And then we'll do some more compressed air around that. I'll pause you here for a minute and we'll be right back. Alright, we've got the tank separated from the power head. Notice I've got the intake plug with a piece of cloth, and I have the throttle operator present screw in the fuel line. Not only does this keep the fuel in the tank, keeps the dirt out, as does this. Plug in that. Now we're going to take compressed air and blow all this out. As you can see, it's filthy. Clean all this up as good as possible, and then we'll push the bushings out. And notice the intake, the orientation of the intake, we're going to replace that also. So we're going to blow everything out, put you on pause. Alright, we've got everything blown out. In replacing this intake boot, notice the orientation of it. It comes out and kind of up and to the right just a little bit. And we're going to put the new one back on just like that. And there's a little hose clamp, holds that in place. Just undo the little hose clamp, slip it right off, and then put the new one on. Here's the new one. And again, when we pull that boot off, we want to put our cotton or rag or whatever we got stuffed in there back in there to keep that clean as possible. You'll also notice that there is a tab right here on the bottom. That tab will go at the bottom, and that will help you to line that up properly. Also note there are two little cutouts right here for each side of the carb studs. So those will need to be on a horizontal plane as you install that as well. The bushings simply push out. Just take your finger or a soft object and push the bushings out like that, one at a time, and you replace them with a new bushing. It's very easy to do. Take your time and change them all out, and we'll install the new bushings and the boot, and we'll slide everything back together. Alright, everything is reinstalled. As to the intake boot, we didn't necessarily need it, but the owner wanted it installed while it was down. I think our culprit was the front bushings, and they were very oily, and as rubber sets in oil, petroleum products, it will break down over time, but probably in excess of 35 years it took these to break down. So now installation is reverse of disassembly. We're going to slide the tank back in, pulse line through the hole, and intake boot through the hole, and install the rings back in, and just go from there.